Have all the monkeys in Mount May been reincarnated in New Zealand? What do a rock and roll deer and a whale have in common? How do rare kangaroos that live in trees raise their babies? And what do extinct animals look like in the wild? I am Holly. Enter the wonderland of creatures in this episode to unlock new animal stories. Noisy and crowded city. It is often difficult for people to associate it with a quiet nature. But where we are about to go is an exception. I am Dongjing. Welcome to the Frankfurt Zoo's series of Wonderland of Creatures. I will take you to explore the wonderland of creatures this centuries old. Zoo I will take you to visit in the actual long video in the future. Old friends, meeting new faces, and the underwater world of Ohan Sky from sunbirth to midnight. Their lives are more exciting than you can imagine. And I will show you all this one by one in the next video. Now bring your curiosity. Let's go our separate ways. In the last episode we started with the largest night walk in Europe. We arrived at the animal house in the daily animal area. Here we introduced a lot of unknown. Comparing the similarities between the tree rat in North Africa and the pika in my country. Visit. The giant bird's nest of magpies is linked to the behavior of reptiles. I introduced you to many rare mammals. Many of the following contents are exclusive to the King of Fighters. For those who haven't seen it yet, remember to check it out later. Now please follow me out of the venue and let's reveal the mystery of this issue. Noodles of various species. After coming out of the pancake, go down the ramp. You can pass by this little ancestral hall introduced in episodes 2 to 4. If you are not impressed, you can check it out later. There is a street sign opposite. The birdhouse at the bottom to the right is our 7th level destination. But before we go bird watching, we also need to pass by the human enrichment area, right? Look, the animals are having so much fun. Some children are itchy to get one. Playgrounds should allow children to experience primitive happiness. What about this? Who paid for the amusement park? Look, there's a plaque here that says this is from Frankfurt International Airport. The advertising of the construction is very soft. It is not for fans all over the world. See how far away are the zoos in major cities? It's almost 7,800 kilometers to Beijing. Maybe this can give the children the scenes of exploring the world for some at an early age. I don't know if these children will one day go to Beijing like me. Take some pictures in the zoo. Okay, let's go look at animals. We're going to see them today. The first species was as active as a naughty child and it lived in behind the playground, in this row of very traditional cages you can watch. The effect is average, but the space inside is really big. Look at these various devices. Does it look like the children's amusement ride just now? What species is it? Do you need such a complicated environment? Let's lower the perspective. Look, here you go, be enthusiastic. I'll grab you when we meet. Stand firm. Look what it looks like. Does it look familiar? It's so big. The green parrot can easily remind people of the source of that magical emoticon, Xiao Parrot, but it's actually called Shuiyang Parrot. It's as good as Xiao Parrot. Ground activities, and they're all from New Zealand, but the difference is Shuiyang Parrot can still fly. And unlike Xiao Parrot's tiger skin heads, their heads are slipping or spiky. I can trap you anytime, anywhere. This extraordinary personality will surely impress every tourist, but in fact, they are very restrained in the zoo. After all, their numbers are small. Across the cage, their desire to explore cannot be unleashed at all. More than 100 years ago, Rem introduced this detail. These birds can talking together at night, looting the village's food supply, physical scientists. Sir Haster also had himself stolen by them when he was inspecting New Zealand. Painted like a specimen. A parrot that accidentally enters a local herdsman's room will tear it apart. Check the durability of all human products. Most important things that do not get the original pictures. It was the same 100 years ago, and it is still the same today. I have said these words before. New Zealand audiences should be most relatable, with their innate love for humanity. Trust and curiosity. The long mouth that can be used quietly has also been inserted into the luggage of many tourists. It's like the reincarnation of the monkeys in Mount May went to New Zealand, but this. Opening your mouth is not just for missiles, it is also beneficial to the entire forest ecology. As early as Brem's time, it was observed that they would use force. Use ashes to peel bark off trees and start digging in the soil to pick food. This behavior is, to a certain extent, it has replaced the role of the woodpecker in the local. Ecological balance also plays an important role, but they don't just peck at wood. Objects, sheep, they also peck, especially in winter when food is scarce. They actually have records of attacking flying sheep and eating venison sheep. The indirect death of sheep made them famous in the local area. Shepherd's blacklist, which resulted in 100 from the 19th century onwards. More than 150,000 parrots were killed during the year. Directly killed this huge number of unique parrots into Binley species. It was even extinct in some areas. Fortunately, half a century ago, the local government finally realized the need to protect these indigenous people. The population has gradually recovered, allowing us to continue to see these parrots. If the commotion continues, this young parrot has a strong reproductive ability. By avoiding hunting and protecting chess areas, the population can recover quickly, but for some animals with long reproductive cycles require human intervention. This species lives next door to it, and the fernids are its outfield. But I've been here all year round and I've never seen them come out. Being active indoors is very consistent with their personality. This kind of activity in mysterious species hidden in the woods in the wild. It's the samurai tree kangaroo. Yes, you heard it right. Not all kangaroos dream on the ground. There are kangaroos in the trees too, if this is your first time seeing this species. Let's blast the barrage with a knife. In fact, today's kangaroos only came to the ground later. 50 million years ago, the ancestors of kangaroos, like the rich rats, climbed out of the trees, switched to terrestrial life, and the ancestors of tree kangaroos were around 2,500. Thousands of years ago, they chose to return to trees for development, which means that this area of trees are large enough to support these medium-sized beasts. So where are the warm and rich forests and the new territories for them to grow? This is the island of New Zinnia that has not yet been fully explored. Tree kangaroos and tall trees in the southeastern lowland jungle of the island found his own ecological niche. You have to climb trees like the little stone ants my superiors mentioned. We can't just rely on that place. You have to train your shoulders, so compared to the tree kangaroo's upper limbs jumping on the ground, longer and stronger, not skinnier than the hind legs. The claws are also longer and can hold tightly like a koala cat. Tree trunks a closer look at a rare tree kangaroo like this in the wild. It's almost impossible. They're not as outgoing as the parrots, but always avoid human activities. Especially in areas with high hunting pressure, they may even transform into nocturnal animals. Only in a comfortable captive environment can they be restored to the state of being untouched by humans. Work and rest during interference. This once again proves what was said in the Liu Family Museum before. Some nocturnal animals will, under safe conditions. The rule of extending activity time into the daytime is as long as you have patience. Here, you can see both the couple living there, but if you are lucky enough, then you can see more value for money pictures. In July of the year I took the photo, I noticed the female dragon rising. In the abdomen, I can already see the probe coming out since I went there again in September. The wallaby. The child may be born at the beginning of the year. Now we are close to the final stage, but I still like to stay in the bag and let my mother blow me away. It's not the children's fault. Living in trees has fewer natural enemies. Children will also become independent later, but this is not without cost. The nutritional content of leaves is still low, which results in the embryonic development of tree kangaroos slower, so their gestation period is the longest known for any animal. The lactation period is also very long. If you want to see the little kangaroo move independently, you need more time. Wait for a while and come back in 2 months. The fish bag will be completely gone. I can't fit the little kangaroo inside. At this time, it is weaned and can follow its mother to eat in the wild. Vegetables. The staple food of vegetables consists of a variety of leaves. Occasionally pick some fruits. In captivity, breeders will provide them with more choices. For example, vegetables and fruits are digested slowly because the food is too vegetarian. Their stomachs. It becomes very big and becomes a fermentation tank like a cow or horse. Use bacteria too. Plants that break down high fiber. So they have to eat constantly to absorb enough nutrients. The children are also around, imitating their mother in every way. Mom ate quickly and moved to another place right away. The little kangaroo is not full yet, so he can only chew it slowly in order to eat quickly. Cutting leaves, tree kangaroos' incisors have sharper edges and can even. Cutting off branches and whole corns is no problem. Teeth are like us. Can also grind food. The stuffing bulges when chewing. Very cute. Then why is it still clinging to its mother after weaning? The little tree kangaroo after weaning. I am not in a hurry to become independent, but will continue to live with my mother for a few months. learn survival skills in the trees and on the ground. We humans tell time. Not long, but for animals, the cost of raising a child is too high. It takes more than a year from conception to raising a baby, and one baby is still. It's very hard to have only one poker player in the tree, but the fact that this breeding model works also shows their status in the place of origin. Stable. No need to rise too much or too fast. How could they have predicted that there would be a group of them? People with shotguns come over and eat them as food, so this kind of low. The species with the highest reproductive rate quickly became the species, so in addition to protecting habitats, mobilization should also contribute to the survival of tree kangaroos by providing better such conditions. Speed up their population recovery. It can also greatly slow down the pace of their extinction. But as you can see, trees, the kangaroo only occupies one room of this house. The rest of the room is occupied by kangaroos. What? This species situation is very similar to that of tree kangaroos, but most people who have been here don't know about it. Let's look at the front of the house. There is a species here that is very rare to see outside its native area, North Island. Crane and saddle-tailed birds. Unfortunately, because birds are very sensitive to light and sound, cutting it off won't be very effective and might interfere with value, so I might as well not do it. Behead them. Horam also said that they are nocturnal birds that hide during the day. In the cave, it is best to hide under the roots of the giant tree and only come out to look for food at night. They live in pairs and run and jump very fast, but locals will pass. Mimic their calls and trap them with the light of a flashlight. And using dogs to search the mountains for hunting. Invading cats and white friends don't let them go either. Under such continuous persecution, few birds can no longer be found in densely populated areas. In order to let more people know and cherish this unique bird, Frankfurt Zoo has been serious about conservation since 1978. Of this species, more than 50 birds have been bred here so far. Naturally, a large amount of information is also collected, such as on these interactive devices. 1-to-1 bullet model with several tailed birds. One weighs nearly a pound, which is equivalent to 1/5 of their weight. Pregnancy is more tiring than a tree kangaroo. There are also a few birds' pre-relaxation sounds. This is the call of the male. This is female. If you travel to New Zealand in the future, don't miss this sound. Opportunities to open them. Okay, I'm still reading the Barrage collection. Eve finished watching 3 rare things in the new territory. Animals, we are going to go west to the ancient continent of Africa. Look at the Benway species out there. There's a species in the vast African savanna. Canine. Extraordinarily furry whistle. They are not painting screens. Their excellent teamwork capabilities are. The success rate of hunting is as high as 90%, even with hundreds of animals per group. The huge scale swept across the African continent, and even gained the support of the local ancients. Respect them, they are the largest canines in Africa. African wild dogs, but they really can't be shown in zoos. Hunting ability, we can only see them in the warm sunshine. Come out and roll around in the sun. We can't tell how beautiful they are in the wild, so I have to listen to the stories of the ancients. In 712, Zucchelli introduced the black pig in his travels on Gango. Wild dogs are born with the characteristics of detection dogs. They rely on numbers too. Advantages: work with a team to eliminate all the lions and as long as you have seen these dogs in the wild and are traveling, you don't have to worry about them. Other ferocious beasts, but they won't attack humans. Sometimes the prey that cannot be eaten is packed and taken away by the locals. As a result, they are among the few allowed into villages and farms. Carnivores. This observation was also made by some 19th century naturalists. Confirmation. But this observation has become a clue of doubt today because today's African wild dogs are suppressed by hunting dogs and lions. No beast will avoid them. Everywhere you go there are characters who are being abused. So why are there so many discrepancies? We have to take into account that the biggest variable in these 300 years is Africa. Wild dog numbers have declined dramatically in recent centuries due to habitat destruction. Due to uncontrolled hunting and rabies infestation, African wild dogs have been found in many places. Extinction. Large colonies are becoming increasingly rare, so this reliance on populations. The number of dogs on the African continent is steadily declining from travelers. The patron saint has become an empty name on the grassland. It is impossible to see this spectacular scene. Naturally, it cannot be verified that this is the observation error of predecessors. Or have we lost the prerequisites for these records to be established? Now we can only stand in front of the fence, combined with the naturalists. Words, picture them dominating the grassland. because this common species once spread across Africa has become a rare binway animal. Due to the lack of popular science education, even today there are many. The locals considered them useless pests and hunted them, resulting in its population continues to decline. They have conquered the earth, but now they have to survive trapped in the dragon prison. Therefore, protection of the wild is very important. If habitat protection is unfavorable, then we must rely on captive breeding for backup. There are other examples like this on the opposite side, but compared to them, Sanwa, the hunting dogs are quite lucky. It's just that it's sunny now and they haven't come out yet. They are more likely to be seen on warm, cloudy days and evenings. Watch this. It's from the Sahara Desert. White sharp beast Xianjiaoling. This is not an artificially bred color. This is their natural coat color. For Asian countries, white animals often symbolize auspiciousness, because there are very few animals that are born white. Things are rare and valuable. Why are they naturally white? This has nothing to do with their living environment related. Different from the current scene of raising them, the origin of Xianjiaoling. It can be said that North Africa and the Sahara Desert only grow grass, which makes them. The intestines and stomach have evolved a stronger ability to save water. Pulled pearls will naturally be drier, so in this hot environment. In life, what are the advantages of being white? Come on, this is a matter of physics. Give everyone some time to answer the barrage. Is that correct? It has high reflectivity. White fur can reflect heat radiation from the sun to a certain extent. The effect of cooling is to avoid the scorching sun in the hot summer. They will also turn to nocturnal activities and only hide in the shade to enjoy the coolness during the day. If you want to see them in the wild during the day, it will be better in the cold winter and spring. Easy. So everyone, they are not animals living in the desert. They are all like cacti live like this. If they had a choice, they wouldn't carry it. This kind of extreme climate is what desert species are like today. This is especially true for species that are on the edge of the desert and haven't even reached the desert yet. That's right, I'm talking about Baomingshu Palace, Zongshirza cicada, and so on. Reptiles that live in wetter areas not only need water to drink, cannot be raised at high temperature and constant temperature. Remember? These antelopes are all hiding in the desert. How can they compete? African wild dogs are still miserable. Brem wrote down how they were persecuted in the 19th century. There are rulers of herdsmen and people who have been transported to the underworld, who regard them as the most noble. One of the animals that hunts, and hunts just for competition and entertainment showing off. The agility of the hunter and the speed of the horse or hound are more important because only nobles can play like this, and one hunt will turn into a tree axis, but Xianjiaolings. It moves slowly and there are no natural enemies in the desert, so it is easy to beat. Liexia. Under this continuous squandering, Xianjiaoling soon became. It has become an extremely species that is one step away from extinction in the wild. Why is it only extinct in the wild? Because they are good looking and require little space. They were picked up early, raised in zoos around the world. So how difficult can it be for bovids to breed? So they're captive populations. On the contrary, the number is quite large. It is very similar to the situation when we were together. It's what I said before. If the wild treasure of African wild dogs cannot follow up, then Xianjiaoling's present is their future, and they will be destroyed because of people. And because humans continue to exist species, not only Xianjiaoling, those who live together also live in another. An extinct species in the wild, it's also in the arid regions of North Africa. Survival fungus Tsangling wearing a white silk suspender belt. You see, they have white fur for heat reflection, but only their legs, feet, abdomen and buttocks are white. This is because their legs are proportionally longer than their proton age, which increases. The surface area is large enough and the heat dissipation effect is good enough with white hair. So only a few important areas on the body are white. And long legs are not only for heat dissipation, but also for running. The Dunlin rat is the largest species, and the biggest feature of this rat is that they can run very fast. If disturbed, they can run at 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. The speed of the hour is so fast that the white areas are all activities that generate heat. Muscle group. Then they can run so fast that even the locals cannot catch up with them, even if they are on horseback and killing them. Why did it become extinct in the wild? Let's first look at the thick body compared to. Xianjiaoling Tsangling focuses her skills on speed but has a slender figure. There are so many. Remember what we said in the Longxi series? Small species in arid areas will have worse heat tolerance and need to be cooling down. Tsangling also follows this rule. Once he starts running, his body temperature will rise. If you cannot cool down in time, you will be more likely to suffer from heat stroke and dehydration in the desert. Died, and local human activities gradually encroached on it, which was relatively suitable for them. The living area led them to gradually move into drier deserts. When migrating, if you encounter human interference again at this time, you will run, jump and react easily. They were sent away, and the surviving individuals were cut down because of the few trees. and was forced to a dead end, and was finally arrested for the last time in 1968. After sightings in the wild, the old merle subspecies disappeared forever in the wild. Although they also have considerable numbers of artificial offspring in European zoos. However, due to the small initial population size, these young adults are also faced with problems caused by inbreeding. And the place of origin has been plagued by war and poaching. Even if it is released into the wild, there are not many suitable places, so it is currently impossible to return to the wild. Therefore, for these old people grazing leisurely in front of us, the zoo, this may be the last stand for this species. The topic of extinction is too heavy, so let's look at a slightly better situation. Species, just as they are hidden in the wild, these animals. Just behind this bush, many people went out before they even got here. Now please come with me to visit this place, which is more mysterious than the nightclub. From the bird area, many people say that Frank Zoo can get up close to few areas for contact with animals. In fact, they didn't even notice this because it's not only hidden deep but also it's closed for various reasons, but if you catch it and it opens, you can get a shooting experience without rods like in the wild. Here, above the swamp landscape, the first species we're going to meet. It's the return jar named Rockinia. Yes, just this black scorpion-shaped regular meeting has no characteristics at all. But with the hair on the back of the head, it is recognizable. I don't know the appearance. The bow-headed kin is also very special in terms of biological classification. It is a unique family. A solitary bird whose closest relatives are suffering. Became extinct before human influence. The closest living species to them is another exotic bird, bullfrog. How about it? It's a bit similar, but it's a biologically isolated species. They may not be weak in the ecology. In the wild, they are almost indistinguishable. Everywhere in sub-Saharan Africa is as lonely and prosperous as the villages. But they're not common anywhere. That's because the color is dim, and it doesn't happen very often. I hide like a ninja every day. In the tree camp, activities are only available in the early morning and evening, so in Bram's book. They are also called shadows for their elusive habit. On the contrary, the locals respected them even more. The black mourners believe that the name means the death of relatives and friends. The Bushmen people think that they are thunder gods. If you destroy its nest, you will be struck by lightning. The Ingres believe that even if you bathe in the river in their territory, you will get a rash. Whether these legends are true or not, people will eventually become interested in these birds. But far away, this actually enables them to still be like some do today. I am leisurely hunting in the trees by the water, but I may not look like a waterfowl. They are all waterfowl. Come on, let's continue to the next exhibition area. The density of vegetation at the entrance is much greater than before, mainly to prevent people from entering. You see, it's still mainly grass inside. This one walking on the ground in the distance. It's the red-legged crane from East and South America. Although it's called a crane, it's not a crane. They are closer to Menchie. They appeared once many years ago. Do you still remember? Audience barges can be reported, but it was nothing like this time. It can be photographed without any hindrance, so let's take a closer look today. This secretary bird from South America. I know that the familiar secretary bird snake is from the African grassland. Across the Atlantic in the Argentine grasslands, the red-legged crane is in the same situation. Ecological niche. One of the characteristics of entering the grassland is that the grass is very long. It's not like the grass is mowed here, it's much shorter. The grass in the wild is long and dense. Therefore, birds and ghosts living in an earth similar to Xinjiang will grow correspondingly. Look at it lying down and basking in the sun. Let's take a look at their beautiful legs. They are called yi. Snakes have long and strong legs, which can not only improve their gait, makes running more efficient, and can also be used as a hunting tool because the longer legs mean a larger attack radius, which can keep the core of the body away from. The prey also has slender and strong legs, and the target is very narrow. It is unintentional to be caught. Counterattack and kick with thick giant claws can even make them hunt. Small carnivores with long legs can become like flamingos. Thermoregulator helps them dissipate heat or reduce heat loss in. When it's cold, they'll lie like this on the ground, facing the sun. Absorb heat. Yes, not all southern eyebrows are in the tropics. The grasslands they inhabit are in subtropical and temperate zones. There are great changes in winter and summer. Taijiaxi, which many people are familiar with, is just like. They are sympatric, so the snow here cannot nourish the dents. The ground in jungle eco is more suitable for activities on the ground. Sometimes people walk. If they are far away, they will hang out on tourist trails. But if you open the door and go in, it's okay. It's very calm. As long as it's far enough away, it even has the intention to observe you. When bird tears looks at it carefully, it will take turns to face it with one eye like this. But if it's too close, like right in front of me this time, it will hold up the hair. It's a warning not to come any closer, but even so it works. They walked back calmly, which means they were also attacked by tourists. The credit scores of both parties are quite high, so why is he out here? Actually, they are here to collect building materials. They will take the twigs on the ground, gather together like this, bring back the tide on the bush. Don't look at them. Good at moving on the ground. Climbing a tree is no better than memorizing it. Look at how he walked in these 2 steps. It's like going up a tree for the first time because they only ride the tide and spend the night in the tree. They all slipped on the ground. Therefore, unlike other birds, it is not suitable for living in trees. The trees are so clumsy, and the trees are all so short. It's easy to catch. 100 years ago, Prince Wade gave the answer in his travel notes. Although the nest of red-legged jauja can only be seen in a short tree within reach. But they are not too persecuted by humans because they hunt. They are pests, so Brazilians respect them very much and have enacted laws to protect them very early. Teach ye not to be hunted, and will raise them on the farm and take good care of them. Jishu. The birds of the prairie are not just earthly ones. The toucan that just appeared. This is Snake's old hometown, and it's the bent-billed westbird. They only occasionally fly. Forages on the ground and mostly in trees at other times. This hard and curved. The giant mouth can help them lose ground fruits, seeds, and insects. Their legs are so short that they might get lost if they enter the tall grass. Don't be afraid of them. I have a good helper. These are the pigs that have appeared on the show. They will cooperate in foraging in the wild. It whistles for Zhu Meng, and Zhu Meng gives him some food. Win-win cooperation solves the problem of ground movement. The shape of the mouth can often hint at the survival background of a species. It's easy to think of the purpose of a hornbill's beak. And the next one, although people were confused for a long time, pushed away the next one. You can see that there are more dwarf trees here when you go through the gate of the Jean district. Means that the species here are more arboreal. Here you want. Pay careful attention to the shadows in the canopy. Do you see this one with a wide mouth? Strange neck road. It's the wide-mouthed road from the jungles of Brazil. In Brem's time they living in all the jungles of Brazil, in the great jungles along the rivers. Once someone gets close, they jump from one branch to another. Hidden on tree branches, although widely distributed, it causes concealment of whereabouts. People don't know much about it, but with their appearance. I think this will be the animal that impresses you most in this episode. Because their 2 major characteristics are really eye-catching. The first one is its white mouth. It's more like a good home than a golden crown, if you don't say it's a deer. It is estimated that many people will think that it is a close relative of ducks or hoofed tigers. But in fact, its life experience is not that special. The Chuanzi deer is the same as its summer night deer. They are all from the deer family, but the mouths of all deer families are long dagger-shaped. Only they have wide mouths. Such a special shape shows that they are similar to other warehouse deer. The fundamental difference is that although the mouth of the deer family is slender, its swallowing ability is. It's very strong. Even if its long mouth pierces a big fish, as long as it can enter the mouth, they will all. It can be swallowed, but the beaked deer looks like a whale when fishing, with its mouth open. In the water, they are very sensitive to touch as they shovel while walking forward. If you catch the prey, you will bite it out and eat it. But if you do this, you will definitely not be able to eat it. Big fish can only hold some small fish and shrimps. For example, the small fish of 1 to 3 centimeters, and the slender head and neck of the Kingsaurus. It's a big contrast. It's a pity that this behavior is invisible. They all eat during the closing period, and there. Another feature is the flowing fish tank on the back of the head, which looks like. If you have long hair and a slicked back hair, if you have the same hairstyle as him, you can raise your hand in the barrage. I have seen more men with this hairstyle. What a coincidence, Chuanze Lu also has a male hairstyle, which is why it's so exaggerated. That Lu. I think everyone knows what the purpose of this hairstyle is. Yes, it's used to attract a mate, but it's not clear exactly how it's used. Maybe it's because long enough hair means you're an adult, or maybe it's this one. Long hair is very bright in the color vision of birds. It looks black to us, but it looks dyed to others. This move. Not to mention that you have a lot of rock and roll style, and you don't need to put oil on your oily head. There's no need to wash it, it's naturally set and looks great, even when it's itchy. It's really itchy. When I scratch it, it makes me feel even more numb. I still feel it. It's such a pity that no one uses this bird as an emoticon. And they are also distributed in the jungles of northeastern South America. There is also an amazing birds with a photographic memory. Their colors stand out among the trees. They are the red, glowing American red rings, which they also have. Two obvious characteristics. The first one is definitely the color, especially when basking in the sun. Red is particularly dazzling. In fact, red rings are not born red. They were brown when they were young. They only start to turn red when they are 2 years old. Like flamingos, they rely on eating crustaceans. Animals come to get the astaxanthin that makes them red. This is how they do it. Artificial feed will add carrot-colored gum containing natural pigments, etc. Food to reduce costs. It can also make them healthy and red. At this point, we can talk about their second characteristic. It's this tendency to bend downward. They're the same as the boat-billed deer. Mainly small fish and arthropods. But the way they eat is different. They don't shovel in the water with their mouths. Instead, they use the tips of their beaks are groping in the water and mud. There are 1,300 on the tips of their beaks. Multiple recessed sensors allow them to be invisible in water. They can also clearly sense prey. But isn't the local mud red? Isn't it easy to be discovered by the world if you are so red? Think about your superiors. Golden stone faces, these moving on the treetops. Basically, we say goodbye to the large world on the ground. The dense canopy also deters raptors, so they have nothing to fear. Both males and females are so red, and when it comes to dense stone, the red ring will blend with many kinds of living in a community, traveling together on dense rocks. A large group gathers together, and there's always something to run about. Must be slower than myself. Dead enough to have an immortal channel. The red dress will be passed down. Okay. Leaving the wetlands of South America, we continue to the next exhibition area. Some native European birds live here. Come down in the waterhole, another bird with a strange beak. It's eating. It's the rebellious territory that spreads across the old world. Look at this one. Those resting on the shore will see it better. Their mouths are thin and pointed. Or upturned. Although the shape is different, their usage is very similar to that of Chuanze deer. Let's take a look at this one in the water. The founder of Russian ornithology, Old Man Zen. I have given an apt description of how the avocet fish will move from side to side quickly to catch food floating in the water, and that's what they do, slowly. The small puddles left on the muddy beach after low tide are drawn one after another. One by one, they fish for food. They are very patient and can take their time. Spend an hour or more in one area, even though the retort. The fish are slow to approach, but they migrate over a wide range. In summer they are in Europe. In winter, you can fly to Africa and South Asia, and only consume a shrimp per 100 kilometers. How much money can I save by switching to air tickets? I will also take seasonal flights. The little bird is right above their heads. Have you seen this gorgeous figure? They are also in the tropics. Wintering in Africa, yellow monkeys, winged tigers in Eurasian climate. Lao Man called it one of the most beautiful birds in Germany. He said that the static winged tiger. Its beauty is amazing enough, but it becomes even more amazing when it flies. Amazing. At this time, the sun's rays will alternately bring gorgeous colors to its feathers. With golden luster, they can show the most diverse and graceful postures in the air. Cross it in any direction, sparkling like a fire gem though. The yellow river Finghu Lake is very beautiful, but it's very difficult to take a clear picture of it. It's also hard to see the details in 4 to 8 times slow motion because the speed of catching insects in the air is so fast that it is also known as the African swallow. It means that they have a high visual refresh rate, so under the tired sun. Skylight may be a simpler lighting condition, but the good thing is that they are very social, and if many people gather together, one of them will eventually be photographed. Now in the wild, they can even gather in thousands together. Keep chirping to prevent members from getting separated. Another type is called German. The most beautiful species of bird is right next door, but they're much shyer. It's even harder to meet him. I've only seen him twice in all the times I've been here. A fleeting figure and only one shot of me standing still. Opportunities are blue-breasted Buddhas, Dharma monks, and their breath is in the grassland in the wild. And forest transition zone, sensitive to human activities and therefore. Naturalists spent a lot of effort observing them. Brem went above and beyond on their intelligence, describing their behavior in thousands of words. Lao Man also recorded that someone taught them how to speak and they believed in their master very much. If the protagonist doesn't show up, these stories will have no carrier. I hope I can take more photos in the future. When I thought that in this exhibition area, I couldn't take any more footage. Suddenly one day, I got a hot shot from behind. The figure cheered me up. This is also due to timidity. Red-breasted keratin native to the Himalayas. Its exit time is also very short. I still leave the narration to famous people. Ecologist and machine-making expert William Beebe describes them as the loneliest bird found on any mountain ridge. I will spend my whole life there unless I am driven away by persecution. They often wander around, but their range of activities is not very large. When people, hearing or seeing them moving on the mountainside in the distance is almost certain. We'll find tumbling creeks and nearby ravines when they turn sideways. As I flew by, my body exuded the richest carmine. It is also dotted with countless white stars, like sparkling. Sauvignon, when people approach, they almost always run away quickly with their heads down. Only those who have tried to observe to the extreme know that when they stay. When in sight, I will be nervous and hold my breath. If these natural history stories will fascinate you, don't forget to give this video a triple thumbs up. Forward and call your friend who is most interested in animals. Let's savor these animal stories that have been passed down for centuries and use my own hands. HD images taken. Of course, this will also allow you to unlock the next episode faster. In the next episode, we will visit the zoo's meritorious facilities. Over 60 years old, he has set numerous world firsts and Germany's first breeding records. You will get to know more than 30 rare species of the Foster birdhouse here. Of beautiful birds. Witness their diverse behaviors and progress according to their story for the main character, and I will combine the stories of birds and reptiles. Common needs. Explain to you how to use birds in Lutter Township. I am Dong Jing, Episode 7 of Renowned Realm. You can unlock it by liking it. Let us listen together to the song of rumors that has never been silent.